What's up? I don't know how good my reception is going to be. That looks much better without that glare. What's everybody up to? Hopefully having a safe 4th of July. What's up, Ground Pounder? Somebody's message got held for review. Must have said something that made YouTube angry. I was sitting here looking at this, and you know how I'm always like raving about the CT foot ascender? Check this out. Right there. That's my foot. Yeah, that's my foot. I know that foot anywhere. Actually, that boot is up there because I think I actually cut that boot at one point. Or maybe I just completely wore them out. But that was one of my favorite pair of climbing boots, Carolinas, which used to be my only boot I would ever wear. But I've recently started wearing some Georgia Loggers, and they have a hard rubber back on them that holds the strap for the spike really good and doesn't put that pressure on your Achilles to where you get or rub a bruise. James, what's going on, buddy? Dan's here. What's up, Dan? They held your message. It got restricted for some reason. Retracted, whatever. I'm sitting in the AC. It's 89 here. Way too hot. Yeah, it's raining here, but it's finally cooled off a little bit, which is awful nice. Oh, thanks, Dan. You too, brother. Hopefully everybody's having a safe 4th, a good one. Yeah, I know. I totally hear you, Ground Pounder. I'm the same way. But then I'm like, why do I have so many copies of this book? I'm like, oh, you know what? I think that's the one that I was in a couple times. I think I'm in this like 3 times, maybe? Maybe 3 times? Let me see if I can find the other one. We had some bad storms coming through today. Went 94 degrees down to 71. Another sun's. Yeah, same way here. It was really hot earlier. It's probably dropped down to low 80s right now, and continues to drop. So yeah. I found ground powder boots. Really? That's awesome. Clint ordered some Poison Moon from Gap the other day. Oh, cool. That is awesome, man. It's such a good rope. So good. Yeah, what was that? Oh, yeah, I was going to see if I could find the other couple pictures that I have in this. Anybody ordered any new gear? Gotten anything cool? I have done absolutely nothing and desperately need to do stuff, but the weather's kind of held me up some. This is crazy. I remember when this book came out and this catalog, and I remember like being tagged. I had other people tagging me, being like, "Hey, they put your pictures in," and there was another time where they had done it. This time they asked, but the time before they never asked. They just put my stuff in there, and well, that wasn't really all that cool. But I was so new into tree work and doing all that and like taking video and stuff that I was just stoked to be part of it. And then afterwards thought about it. And I was like, that's kind of messed up. They would do that. Just went over and take what they want. Which, oh, there I am. Holy cow! I about passed it. It's a picture of me way out on a limb, being very PPE like, with full chaps, and it's like the end of my rope goes down, and I'm way down on a lower limb, so kind of hard to see in here. I don't got the best lighting. Maybe one day I'll work on the lighting in here because my lighting is messed. Let's see. I just got the same rope. Awesome, James. You'll love it, dude. No new gear for me. I need new wedges. Yeah, I'm that same way. If I'm doing a lot of like falling and stuff, I'm just not. I always chew my wedges up. It just always happens. Like they get into my back cut, and then I back bar into them on accident, or I beat them in too far, and then I'm like having to push them out, and it's But yeah, it is what it is. I do have to replace them all the time. It seems like. Bartlett's 2 hours for me. That's cool. Right rope is 1.5. Actually, I just got 200 foot of right rope. V-track. Or V-hex. Oh, cool. Right on. That's awesome. I wish I could, like, promote. Well, I guess I can. But same time, I don't really think I'm so stoked with how the business is ran when it comes to them, but I just feel like that All Gear is that company where that came in, and it has people that probably, the way it comes off is they know no one in the industry that spent any time. They just threw a bunch of money in there and was like, hey, we make gear. So maybe it's not that way. Maybe that's just the way it comes across to me. I may not know anything that I'm talking about, but my experience dealing with them, and I've never asked for anything. I've only bought stuff. A lot of stuff. Yeah, that's my experience with them. Not so stoked. And then I've dealt with Bartlett. I've dealt with Cheryl. I've dealt with all the tree stuff. You know, and I just remember how kind of corporate-y, kind of standoffish and rude they always were, most of them. And then I run into Gap, and they're different. They're trying to run that small mom and pop like feeling in their business, and that is awesome. I like knowing that I can talk to somebody and they care about getting my order out. Like they don't have a billion orders going out. They also are take part doing in this, and they understand how important it is, and at the same time how expensive it is, and how bad you usually need it, and so yeah. Well, I've been thinking about the Unisender. Yeah, me and me both, man. That uni just looks so nice. It looks so nice. I don't even remember what the last picture here that I'm in even was. So there's the one with the chaps. I was the chap guy, which is funny because I don't know if you find much footage of me wearing them. I would wear chainsaw pants if I had them, but I should wear chaps. I shouldn't act like that. I should. I just feel like They make things almost more dangerous. A bunch of floppy straps hanging off of me that catch everything and are able to get stuck in the chain, and it protects my legs if I randomly run the chainsaw into my leg, but who knows. I don't know. I don't even know. I probably already passed it 6 times. I'm just going to talk to you guys. I don't remember what the other picture was anyway. I got lucky to find those two. I just randomly was on the page, so let's just talk with you guys and chill. I don't want to be right into the light. Sorry, guys. Oh, man, that is going to be right in the light. So, let's see. See what I can do. This might be better lighting anyway. No, definitely not better lighting, but it's lighting. Now I can keep up on comments a little better. Okay, so far cool. I should have laid it out first. It's twisted now. I like it. Yeah, I never stretched mine or anything. A lot of times they say to when you get a rope to milk it and get it out and stretch it and everything, but I never do that. I usually just use it. So. No, not right rope. The people from All Gear aren't the friendliest people, but you know that's where I feel like they they give off the impression that they don't need you, like they don't care if they get your business, and they were never intended to make their way into the residential tree industry. Their focus was on um, electrical, like what do you call that category of tree work? It's got a name, and I cannot think of it. Tree veteran born again has a uni. He will make someone a deal. Oh yeah, I remember. My customer the other day was playing with his 252 while I was taking down a large, and he cut the crap out of his. Oh no! Dang, that sucks. I've never dealt with all gear, and I won't now since you just said that. Oh, right on. I mean, try them out, man. Maybe I just had a funky experience with them. Damn, I wish I could remember the term that is used for when they talk about there's residential work and then it's not commercial. It's uh, what do you utility? Utility is the word. I think that's right. There's no way I actually, because I was for sure I just had that brain fart moment that when I finish the live here in a little while and get off, it will instantly click to me. But I think it's utility. So utility tree work is what they were intended to do. Line clearance, stuff like that. That's the reason their stuff is a bit designed a bit different. And that's where all their focus was. That's where they got their foot in the door. And that's why 90%, 99% of tree guys said it's junk. That's trash. Look back a couple years. Every tree guy out there, I never ran into one person that said they like all gear. Now, total different story. Everyone talked trash on it, and I still tried it because it just so happened that was the rope at the dealership where I was buying things. That's what they had. I researched the rope. I was rigging rope, and I didn't even realize I was climbing on their climb lines when I was buying them. And that's all the only company that this store carried. as far as ropes. So um, I didn't have a choice. So I went with what I thought was be the best, and like really like the Husky bull ropes that they got. I have 5/8 and 9/16. I think I owned another 9/16 at one time. I think my brother bought like a 3/8, real small, like pink colored bull rope. So they got a selection, but yeah, that it is what it is. That's not a job I would want. Screw that line clearance crap. Yeah, yeah. Did you guys see what happened with a human? I kind of just caught the tail end right before I got on here, but apparently he got ro- maybe rode up or something, or just griped at from um, the higher ups there at Right Tree Service. And I think before it's all said and done, they'll tell him, I'll end up doing like everybody and telling him he can't record, which is silly because it's like insurance. Like, it just backs things. Like, it's a security. So I think he got in some trouble. And that's silly. I think the stuff that I heard him, like, that I took that he was getting griped at for is just normal guy stuff. Like, and normal tree guy stuff. Like, I think he got in trouble for falling logs without having a rope in it, or falling a tree that didn't have a rope in it. But I mean, if it's got the full lean that way and it's committed before you ever even put your notch in it, and you could just solely make a back cut on it, I there's no need. Especially if you're experienced. Not experienced, always put a rope in it. If you have any thought that there's a chance something can happen, put a rope in it. But that's a guy that I think has always been very good at what he does, and he is able to learn this stuff really fast and execute quickly. So, pretty bright guy, and it's just awesome to see him killing it now. So, yeah, I seen some of his videos. I didn't see that though. This is his last video. Um, he was talking about it, and they said that he could still record. That's okay. So go check him out after this. I think he actually had to delete the videos. Oh, the thing that they told him was, I remember now, that he cannot, like, he has to blur out the right logo. So anything that has the right logo on it, he has to blur it out. That's a lot to have to do when you're editing. Editing is hard enough. So you start adding other things that you got to do. I don't know, like me, I would love to be putting out all kinds of content right now. It's unreal how much footage I have to do videos with. Like, we're talking days worth. Like, I bet over, I may have like 2 full days worth of footage at least. Like 48 hours worth. That is a lot. And it's so difficult putting this stuff together. It gets aggravating. You get burnt. You run into where you don't feel really creative. And you're like, I don't know about this. But, yeah, that's just, it is what it is. But, and then you get those random comments. Like, I just got one. God, you ever store your rope like that? I just got one on that short that I put out, which is so stupid. And I don't know why it bugged me, but it's like, it bugged me because I'm like, other people are going to read this, and I hope to God no one believes this shit that these people say. And I want to just delete it and block them, but then I'm like, just don't let it bother you. But it is what it is. So, it was on the video where I talk about monster, or as the title of the video, I put neighbor's dog won't shut up. And It's my dog. It's not the neighbor's dog. I was just in the neighbor's yard. The tree was. And so somebody left a comment. That dog really don't like that tweaker, does he? And I'm like, it's either you're calling me a tweaker or you're calling Jake a tweaker. Because we're the only two in the video. And in what world did you come to that conclusion? Like, in what world? You've seen somebody who's not afraid to get off their ass and do something physical, and to you they would need meth or be tweaking to do that? That blows my mind. That's how far we are into people not being able to even comprehend earning something or having to do anything physical. That's how deep we are into this nowadays. That now when someone sees someone who's doing a physical or a manual labor job, they're instantly got to be a tweaker. And it just blows my mind. I don't even really know what to say to it, but I just let him believe his comment. And I'll just ignore it, I guess. But those are the ones where I want to go on for a long time and ask a bunch of questions about, like, why is tweaking the first thing on your mind? There's nothing in this video that would bring up tweaking. So why is tweaking the first thing on your mind? Like, I don't sit around thinking about meth. I don't watch other people's videos and feel insecure because, wow, that guy worked really hard and I can't work that hard. Meth head. Like, I'm secure with myself. I don't understand. People spend too much time on their phone hiding behind it. Deep down, they get incredibly insecure with themselves because they know they're not the person they pretend to be. And eventually they have to go out in real life and be that person. So they become very paranoid and standoffish, and then you get to just randomly calling people drug addicts that you don't know. And you couldn't be further from the damn truth. That's the only reason I want to ask, like, what brought you to this conclusion? Like, what about this made you think that? But then I'm feeding into it, which is what he wants. And having a YouTube channel ain't always the funnest thing. I've not watched him in quite a while. Yeah, check him out, Ground Pounder. He's really been putting some good tree stuff out, and he's like running stuff like almost as a foreman. I mean, I imagine that's probably what he is. That's what he seems like. I've never seen him talk about it really, but I think he may be like the lead operator, kind of boss to his crew. So, dude's a natural leader. He seems like he could be very good at teaching and stuff like that. So we going to TCIA? Maybe. What's a good GoPro to buy? Dan, I have the Black 8, and it records in 4K. It has a stabilizer, so like it stays balanced, and like even on like my skateboard, if I record with my skateboard, you can put it in active mode, and it'll stabilize the camera, and you can be shaking, even if you have 4 or 5 cups of coffee in the morning, and you're just in a Red Bull, and your hands are doing this, and you're trying to record, you'll get the worst videos. But it has a stabilizer, which is really nice, and it's a really good camera. It will switch. It will record vertical, horizontal, however you want to do it, and it rotates. I really hate the way that they put the battery set up, the cover for the battery. That is a poor design. It's trash. That is the worst design I've ever seen GoPro come out with. They should feel ashamed for even doing that. It should be fixed, It should never come off. That side compartment should be on there for good. But I feel like they figured out a way for you to lose something. Then that camera that you thought that you bought because it was, you know, waterproof and all kinds of stuff, now has an open battery compartment that goes straight to the SD card, so it just instantly shorts out. Or you lose the batteries out. It won't hold the batteries in. So it is so easy if you open it and you just bump the the cover when it's open, it'll fall off. Like sometimes I've not even bumped it and it falls off. So that is my issue with that. But I mean, I think anything above that too is going to be good quality. But at the same time, I would look into it, and if they're the newest GoPros, like a GoPro 12, find out what it has and what it's saying is what's the reason for it being $200 more. You know, that's what I do. And if the camera does everything and it just the only difference is the color of it or the number on it, then I would do that. I jumped up to the 8 from like a 4 or 5, and then I had a session before that, and I jumped up to the 8, and the only reason I did that is because I needed a new camera, but at the same time it had the stabilizer, and that was just the selling point for me. You know, if you got the bobblehead when you're doing the helmet cam, that stabilizer keeps everything perfectly calm, and you don't see any of that shaking weirdness, and it's a much more appetizing video to watch afterwards. You don't feel so seasick, you know. Yeah, Dan, definitely. It would be awesome to see some of the videos. Even if you do it kind of like Greg Brown has been doing. Um, guys, Greg has a channel. Ground Pounder's the reason I found out he had a channel. Um, Greg has a YouTube channel he started, and he's doing YouTube shorts on it. Um, got a lot of cool stuff. He's always got funny videos. And so you can check him out. Greg is cooler than the other side of the pillow. That's a guy that is very creative and really, really, really good for the industry. Like guys like Greg are worth their weight in gold because they're problem solvers and they solve the problems that you don't want to. Sometimes people just try to get a rise. Yeah, I sometimes have a hard time with commenters, but I've learned to live with it. Yeah, it's a tough one to get used to. I realize that I do realize why people do that though, because I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I haven't been that cocky guy to go onto someone's channel and probably leave a comment or even Facebook or whatever. I've been that guy that felt the need to express my genius and how smart I am, and when it's not needed, you know, just because you do something a certain way doesn't mean that guy needed to. But all he did was record what he did so that you could watch it and be entertained. Nowadays, everyone's trying to use YouTube so much as a learning device that if you haven't taught them something during it, they feel the need like they need to teach you something. And I get it though. I mean, but I found myself, I really have changed the way that I interact and leave comments and stuff because there's been them ones where you're just in a weird mood and it just hits you and it's like, oh, dang, like that hit deep. And then sometimes people that you really, really get along with and are real good friends, you can read their comment. And depending on the mood that you're in when you read that comment, you could put an attitude onto it when they didn't mean it that way. So text is a tricky thing to begin with. And it's human nature to want to share your knowledge. Um, and just because someone didn't show that technique or use that technique or you would do it different doesn't mean they don't know it already. And, you know, you'll, how's the saying go? Catch more flies with honey than you will vinegar. I think it should be bees anyway. Um, so, like, the way you say stuff, if you're really trying to help somebody out, you should think of the way you're wording it and make sure that you're not wording it in a way to try to make them feel insecure, um, or make them feel dumb. So, because I know a lot of people out there want to help people. They're like, hey, you could try this or this or this, but you have to watch the way you word things because it can be read in a certain way, and like, whoa, why is he being, why is he being rude? Why is he being a dick? I thought we were friends. I've had that happen many times. I call my 261 tweaker, LOL. I got a muffin mine. Hey, if it gets it, the only issue with that is I don't know. Like, if you got to be more specific, I would call that like your saw because it's a just destroyer that just rips and just probably kills it. You got to be more specific. Like, I don't know. From what I see, people nowadays they act like they're tripping and like they're eating psychedelics. Like the meth heads I see, they see stuff. Like they're out of their mind. Like they're on crazy street. They don't know even what's going on. They ramble. They're not the ones that are like, yo, let me fix your stuff for you. It's not that way anymore. Like I remember being young and running into tweakers and like they were the guys that were like building houses out of pallets and like always working on vehicles. They got a yard full of vehicles. I mean, that doesn't mean everybody with a few vehicles in their yards does meth, but I feel like you got to be more specific and be like, well, it's a 1990s tweaker. It's a 90s tweaker because these 2000 tweakers, they don't even get anything done. They don't even have any energy. They look so lazy. They look like I don't know. Maybe I don't know enough about it, but I think about it and I like stress on it because my kid, and it's like, what in the world are these people doing now? And like, I legit, I think they're the stuff they're doing now is like a fungus. I think it's a fungus, and I don't know. Maybe that's why they're all out of their minds and tripping. I don't know. Well, how did we get off on this topic? Oh yeah, somebody called me a tweak. That's I remember now. My bad. I'll check him out again. He lost me there for yeah, yeah. He lost me too. Um, I started to take it personal because I really like the guy. I vouched for the guy, and then I started to take it personal, and I think maybe he doesn't really talk back to me anymore because of some things that I said. Um, I was just very standoffish with like, dude, this is not you, and what you're saying right now is real. This is it. It's I don't know what that message just was, but it's about to hang on just a second. That's gonna piss me off. Oh my. Yeah, that was not a good message. Oh, I'm so aggravated right now. Dang it, man. Why did I have to get that message in the middle of this live feed? Whatever. Okay. when it comes to caffeine, if that makes you a tweaker, I am full-fledged, dude. Like, I'll knock down a couple 5-hour energies, the extra strength, drink a Red Bull, a couple cups of coffee, and like, let's go. Um, that sounds so incredibly unhealthy, but that's what I do. So, how's everybody doing? What's up, Billy? How you doing, buddy? Happy 4th. Hugging the AC, Bill? Yeah, that's cool. Funny. What's up, JC? Happy 4th, bud. Yeah, Greg won't admit to how smart and crafty he is. He just says he comes up with stuff. That's great. And you don't just come up with stuff. I think he was the, if I'm thinking about it, I think I was the first person I ever seen come up with a bollard that attached to a reese hitch, like ever. I'd never seen one before. And Greg's the guy that come up with that idea. Such a smart idea. Um, Especially when it comes to speed lining. Like, it is perfect because you just go take a vehicle, make an anchor point, put it wherever you want, slap that thing on the back of it, and yeah. I've been kind of entertained by the metal and wood channel. He's pushing Noker saws and a bunch of other junk. Really? As it eats with the... That's cool, James. Dang, Bill, you got two 261s? Yeah, all I have is my 026. I'm sure it's bad everywhere, but meth and heroin is 90% of all 911 dispatch calls in this country, anyways. Yeah, fentanyl. I think fentanyl will probably be up there pretty high, too. Oh, Steve, what's going on? Happy 4th, brother. I'm on number 2. First one was Mtronic. This one, nope. Oh, cool. See, I haven't had an issue with the Mtronic stuff. I just feel like I kind of break my saws in. I'm never that guy that just sits there and runs a saw wide open. When I weed eat, it's the same way. When I use a blower, it's the same way. I don't just like the the whiskey throttle kind of thing, white knuckled, while you're holding a weed eater or a chainsaw. That stuff blows my mind. There's no reason to run something at such a high RPMs like that and get it so blistering hot in there and overwork the machine. So like I'm always revving my stuff out as I'm going. So the M-tronic stuff, it does take a while to get set and to run properly. So I'm still having issues with my 362 and 660. So I don't know what's gonna happen with that. It took me a little bit to learn how YouTube works and not comment negatively. Anyway. Yeah, I mean, I just don't know what. There's nothing you can get from a negative comment. So like, you tried like I'm not saying you did, but if you leave a negative comment, all you're the only person that could possibly get anything good from that. Um, and it says a little bit about you if you get something from putting another person down and making them feel bad. So like it is human nature, though. I've been guilty many times. I know I have. I know I have. I can't think of any of them, but I know I've done it. I just know I have. And I find myself at times watching other videos, and if it's not, see, that's why I know that it's ridiculous what I'm doing, because my friends and people that I have a lot of respect for, if I watch them do the same thing, I don't have those feelings. But when I watch a stranger that I don't know do it, I have the urge to leave that comment. And like, why? Like, why would I want to do that? And I'm sure I've even made it where I've typed the whole comment out before I've stopped myself to be like, dude, stop. What are you gonna get from this? Like, and I'll delete the whole comment and try to maybe figure out, like, if I felt like the guy was rigging off something that didn't have a good enough bend radius, instead of calling him an idiot, telling him to go do this and this and this, don't you know that you need this and the smush, and like, he don't need all that. But I could figure out a way to like reword it and be like, hey, be careful. I've had a rope break on me because I was rigging off of a steel carabiner. The bend radius is too sharp and it made the rope explode. So there's just ways of handling stuff. That's just in everyday life too. It doesn't hurt to practice good people skills on YouTube. It won't be so awkward when you are in public and you have to be nice to somebody. So I think that's why a lot of people are weird in public when you run into them, because they've spent all their other time being this negative just freak on YouTube and bashing people and trashing people, and then they get out into the public and they're like, it's almost instinct to be that way, and they realize, oh no, like, this guy's in like, reaching like distance of me. I can't be the keyboard warrior. My oldest son suffers from mental illness, manic bipolar, and holy well, brother, it's hard not to take it personal at times. Oh, 100%, man. I'm sure I have too many issues for even a doctor to worry about. I try my best to ignore stuff. Like, I find myself, like, something you guys don't know about me, like, I will regularly get a panic attack in the evening and feel like I'm going to crawl out of my skin. Um, I become like incredibly uncomfortable just being me. And it seems to happen when I'm all alone, like my wife's asleep and I'm by myself, and like I get to stressing on stuff, things that I can't even control, which is ridiculous. And I'll make the worst of everything, and like before I know it, I'm full-fledged panic attack. And I've learned I, I don't I don't want my issues to ever be a burden for another person. And so, like, when I feel like that, my wife's like, wake me up. And I just don't. I don't. This is something wrong with me, an issue with me, and it's like, I'll figure it out. And if I can't, then I will. But I'm pretty stubborn. I feel like I can fix anything if I try hard enough. But bring it, GP. That would be awesome. Would you notice a difference in the light bar? Yeah, that's something I would like to know too. Turns out I drove through his town last year and I spent a week in his neck of the woods. Really? That's crazy. Hang on just a second. It is like straight chaos out here right now. My neighbor's about to light off a bunch of fireworks, big old artillery shells that land all over my house. Hope my trailer don't burn down. It's got a bunch of brush in the back of it right now. Not to mention, I can't forget about that message I just got, which is so crazy. I'm so aggravated right now. If it's not one thing, it's another. That's life. Yeah, how is the truck, GP? Yeah, I watch stuff too, GP, that like I wouldn't go tell other people to do this or like model themselves after this person. Like I spend a lot of time like I have a lot of guilty pleasures. Like I spend a lot of time. This is so stupid. I'm just gonna say it. Whatever. Okay. I don't know if any of you follow UFC and fighting and stuff, but I've always followed it since I was a teenager, and I don't think I've ever missed a pay per view or anything like that. Like I'm that deep into it, and there's a guy that Brendan Schaub used to fight. He wanted to become a comedian. He's possibly one of the worst comedians ever, but because he's got a name and some followers and knows Joe Rogan, he's gotten all these handouts. And apparently, like, there's a Discord on Reddit that they have on this dude, and like, there's like a couple 100,000 people who spend all their time picking this guy apart and like all of his lies and I fall into that stuff and I will watch that stuff for hours sometimes and not realize it. So sometimes a car crashes, you can't help but just watch it. So truck sitting at the local shop waiting to get looked at. Turbo not building boost. Check engine light is on and it's past what I can handle, Lily. Dang it. Sugi is lighter but stronger. Send your 660 to Aaron Lynch. Right? I think I got the 660 figured out. Like I should be all right with it. Um, but I have a couple saws that I need some work done on. I have a 200 that needs touched up so that it could use maybe a couple plastics and probably a carb put on it. But I have one of those. I have a 026. There's a 021 that I got that needs some work. I got a couple old like 037 AVs and stuff. Those flat top saws. Um, I mean, most of my stuff runs for the most part. He will fix it. Right? He's a good dude. I met that person. That's cool. Right on. Well, hey, maybe that can be my saw guy. Because, like I said, I do have some saws that I need work done. It's scary to send a 200 that you know is a legit 200T to send it off because I've seen some crazy stuff happen to where somebody will send off a real 200 and they end up getting a clone back with all their plastics on it. So, right on, ground pounder. Yeah, yeah. I feel like sometimes I probably share too much. Yeah, Steve. I feel like maybe it's probably the way society is now. Um, and sometimes it's just maybe the way my life works. I just feel like if things are going good, a complete car crash is right around the corner sometimes. So, but all I do is spend all my time trying to help people and do people right. I am an insanely strong believer in karma. I believe that I have no proof that this is like karma's a real thing. I just feel strongly that it is, and that you should treat everybody the way that you want to be treated, and give everybody the respect that you want, and try to help anyone that you can. Um, you can't help everybody. You can't help everybody. So I mean, I'm not saying always. Every time somebody asks you for some money, give it to them. Um, but if you can help, it feels good to do it. Whether it's just you tip that random worker the store that you go into, and there's just so many ways to do it, and every one of them feels good long term. So if you're feeling rough, I would recommend that. If you ever need a pick me up, help somebody. There's not too many feelings that feel better than that. So, but at the same time, if you're one of them people that really enjoys that and does that all the time, you will run into them people that will realize that and try to take advantage. So, yeah, my neighbor, we're not clicking anymore. Squirrely John, what's up, bud? Oh, you got one. Yeah, man. Yeah. Me and my neighbor, we are not clicking though. I'm like about to lose my mind. His cats, are coming over and destroying all my flowers and my plants and trees and stuff. Like it's costing me money now. So I'm getting very aggravated. My dog has fleas because of these damn cats. Like my dog goes to a groomer every month, gets everything done, still ends up with fleas because I'll come outside and he's fighting a random feral cat that's in his yard. And these cats don't run off, they want to fight. And he's still kind of a pup. I don't think he knows that he can hurt things. So it just basically boxes his chops and he stomps on it. It's in our nature to think of everything, guys. That's why I do what we do. Yeah, we're thinkers. The challenge. Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see that. I mean, everything must be accounted for. Yep, yep. Dang, I hear sirens outside where the cops have already showed up somewhere. It's about to get chaotic here. My dog loses his mind with fireworks. My neighbor knows this. You would think instead of like he has a very large family, they all show up, and he does a firework display here, and he erupts fireworks all over everyone's houses within a block. Like there's probably 30 houses that he'll end up having fireworks all over. I hate it. I don't care. I don't want to see the fireworks. Like I legit feel like he's gonna bust the windows out of cars and vehicles. It's ridiculous. And I think there should be kind of a rule that if you live within city limits and you have close quarters, that you shouldn't be able to light off artillery shells that explode and go all over everybody else's property. So, but maybe I'm just that grumpy old fart in the neighborhood now. Yeah, yeah. The problem solving and the work that's my safe space. I could have a billion things running through my head. I can shut them off a lot of times when it's time to climb or cut. So, hey man, That's cool. That's cool. Well, I have to try him out, Ground Pounder. I still have the Zoom I bought on my 18th birthday. That's awesome. I turned 50 Tuesday. A lot of big money. That's awesome, though, dude. My mom used to have a Firebird and a Camaro, and it was like the Firebird she bought was it came with paperwork that was in the dash where it hadn't lost a heat in Las Vegas where it had been racing. It was like cherry red, insane, insane car. It had like a 454 in it or something. I don't even remember, but it was so crazy. My mom did nothing but get tickets. So get live church mic. Yeah. See, I don't know, I had plans in the morning, things to do, and all of a sudden that just randomly all changed. And I don't know why. I'm so aggravated. And the people wait until after I get everything set up and I book a bunch of stuff, and then all of a sudden, a few hours before I'm supposed to be there, now everything's canceled. And this is after waiting like 10 days. So you can understand how aggravated I am right now. And the cats, I think they're living in my trailer. So I was going to go dump them. At least some of them. Yeah, see, I don't want to be that neighbor, Steve, that's always calling the cops. I just don't. I just don't do that stuff. So I just deal with it. But there will be a point where I'm done dealing with it and I'm ready to go over and like smack somebody. And that's where my wife's like, Michael, you can't do that. I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I can. No, you can't. That's awesome, John. My daughter was just asking me for a rabbit today. I'm like, no, you can get another rabbit. We've had rabbits. They were awesome. They were cool, but you're getting ready to take off to college. You can't be getting a pet right now. I right now have a dog that weighs as much as a horse that lives in my house and does nothing but bark and eat. And I only have him because she wanted him. And he's nothing but hair. And she had to have that specific kind of dog. So it's like, she, she gets what she wants. But she deserves it. She's a good kid. That'd be funny, Ground Pounder. I have thousands of cases here. That's funny though. We did that same thing when I was in high school. We went. I think I had like ecology was what the class was. So we went and did like an architectural dig, and that's this place where we were at was nothing but shell casings. They were everywhere, and then like little medicine bottles and stuff. It was an old foundation to a home, so we did an archaeological dig. That was kind of fun. I trapped those cats and take them to the pound. Feral cats are the worst thing there. As for yeah, it's insane. And this dude, the cats have litter after litter after litter. When people find these cats and living in their house, or like on their house or in their stuff, they take them and they take them to him. Your cats had a litter. He says, "Those are my cats. Those are my cats." Dude, you are a full-fledged bum and a piece of trash for even acting like that. Because he goes out every single night. He has okay, you remember when y'all were in school? And they had the big ass cookie sheets that they'd make like pizza or whatever on, and but the industrial size pans, the cookie sheet pans, the big ones. He mounds one of them with cat food. That's how many cats there are, and it's empty by the next morning. So that's every night. He gathers them up, and then everyone else is supposed to deal with it. Just so he can feel good when he walks out his door and 20 cats follow him around his yard. That's disgusting. You're a rotten human being for not giving a damn about anyone else. You know, the blinders that people have on nowadays just blow my mind. And that's why I feel like a smack would knock the blinders off and the peripheral would be seen. And like, oh, wow, there's other people here? But you can't do that, apparently. I don't agree with it. When people stop like being able to punch you in the mouth and get away with it, that's when things got real bad. I lived in the country. My backyard would be the same. I used to pop off 500, 357, and 545 a week. 22 minutes I caught. I won't even go to a state if they don't allow me to have my gun. World Bridge Burner tonight. Yeah, we are missing Bridge Burner, aren't we? Hey, he's probably just been busy. So you guys seen his truck, his new little truck he got? That thing is awful cool. Guys, I'm gonna have to cut this off because I need to go grab dinner before it gets too late. I'm probably gonna be searching for somewhere to eat because it's 4th of July and it's late. Blinders are very strong with today's society. That's funny. I actually made it like right to the end of the comments, right when I made it, or when I was talking about wrapping it up. Usually I say I'm gonna wrap it up, and then I start scrolling, and I realize I have like 50 more comments to go through. I didn't do as bad this week. I kind of kept up. And this, guys, I think this is number 72. So Triple T 72. This episode. And I really have plans to be a little more specific with what these videos are about. And what happens is like Tuesday sneaks up on me and we get one like this where it's just me. Every now and then I'm just going to do this anyway because I just want to interact with you guys. And usually when I'm doing a specific kind of a video or a certain topic, like it takes my attention away from being able to even keep up with the comments. So I do want to do these often so that I can just talk with you guys, and it's just easier. I mean, you guys can leave comments and I can comment back, but sometimes before I get to it, it's been days, and you guys know how it is. Yeah, it is way too many cats, John. It's insane. I had to clear out years ago from a cat hoarder, and oh my god, it was the worst thing ever. Yeah, his whole area over there smells like cat piss. Like, it's disgusting. And they keep coming over into my yard now like they own my yard. And I'll just randomly, like, you cannot go outside and touch any of my flower beds. If you put your hands down in that mulch, you are grabbing cat crap. Like, I cannot even go out and mess around in my beds anymore. And that drives me nuts. I'm a person that likes to go out in their yard, clean their yard, you know, mess with the flower beds, stuff like that, weed. And, then I see like my stuff's all lumped up because of the rain or something. So I go to spread it out and like, oh, you have no clue how hard it is for me to keep my cool and not kick his door in and come in and smack him in the mouth with like a cat turd. But you can't do that nowadays. This is just what I hear. I still feel like you can, but people keep telling me you can't. Ground Pounder, Billy, Dan, JC, I appreciate you guys hanging out. John, Squirrely John, James for sure, Steve, you know, you guys are awesome. Billy, I appreciate you guys so much. The loyalty and support is humbling every time. So you guys are amazing. Thanks for always being here. Thanks for always giving me somebody to at least talk with and interact with. There are times where I do these live feeds where I really need this interaction, and I can always count on some of you guys to always be here. So I appreciate that. Have a very safe 4th of July. Hopefully it's a good one. And have the last bit of your week go safe and be productive. I'll catch you guys here very soon. I want to make a music video, an edited version of the video that I did, the last one. And we will then have a comparison to which video did better, the raw video or the edited. And we'll see. So, stay safe. I'll catch you next time. Have a good 4th of July. And stay safe. Just don't blow yourself up, please, or burn yourself. See you guys.